Okay, we are going to do more tech shows. Basically, schedules aren't lining up right now. We're hoping to start back up into August to mid-September. Then, of course, we're going to be getting into the really shaky part of the year for me, which is October, and then November is Thanksgiving, and then the holidays over December. So who knows how many shows we'll get done before we wind up having to take the rest of the year off. But we'll do the ones we can. We are going to come back. If not, we will be back very strong next year. We apologize. Today, I'm going to do a rant video about something that is a pet peeve of mine. I was in the process of cleaning my Lucky Coins this afternoon, and I thought about something that's going on, and I'm like, this is a perfect YouTube rant. And that is the fact that people are selling silver right now as an investment. They have been for the last few years. I hope none of y'all bought any. Especially for the last few years when it was very overvalued. It's finally back in line with value. Silver is not an investment. It's a value store. Physical silver, physical goods laying around, it's a value store. It basically, if you want to buy physical silver, the idea is my bills are paid, I've got at least 6 months of savings in the savings account, and I have more dollars, more disposable dollars. I don't trust 401ks, or my 401k is maxed out, and I'm no good at Forex or stock markets or other things. So my options to do with this money are stick it in a savings account, a CD, or under the mattress. But no matter what I do, it's going to lose value. In the far away, it's going to be worth somewhere between 10 to 60 cents what it is today in terms of buying power. And I want it not to lose value, or lose value a hell of a lot slower than that. That's the point of a value store. In the same far away that it takes for this to be worth 10 to 60 cents on the dollar, this is worth 40 to 90 cents on the dollar. In the long run, you still lose money, because to buy this, you have to pay money for shipping, you have to pay some fees to the person who gave it to you. They're basically going to charge you current price plus some fees plus shipping. So in terms of an investment, you're actually better off to trade it electronically, and through something like a Forex broker, just take advantage of the volatility when it makes sense. But if you don't know how to do that, or you can't predict that, and you can't learn how to do that, buying the physical good isn't necessarily bad. It's not an investment. It's a value store. To put that in line, this was bought for $18.88 an ounce in 2009, which is really the last time it made sense to buy silver as a value store. And I don't buy this excessively for value stores. Basically, this is leftovers from some rolls I bought for gifts. And I'm slowly giving these away as it makes sense to give them away. To have the same value, silver would have to be worth $20.55 today. Silver's worth between $19 and $20 today. So in line with inflation, plus taking into account that inflation isn't really accurate anymore since we've taken certain things out of it, really this has to be worth closer to $25, which means in terms of current value of silver, it's basically done a good job as a value store, 80 to 90 cents on the dollar. And over time, silver will rebound a little bit more, but it's probably going to go down a little bit more before it rebounds. So, 20 years from now, I could probably have 70 to 90 cents worth of spending power for this silver. So as a value store, it's great. As an investment, it sucks, because no matter what, I lose money. Let's look at how silver behaves as a value store to get a better understanding of that. I'm going to try and keep this short. Let's say when times are good over here, I don't know, depending on how much money you have, every month, every quarter, maybe once a year, you're buying some physical silver and sticking it in your safety deposit box, and you basically once a quarter to once a year you clean it, so it doesn't over deteriorate and corrode, so you maintain its value. And then you have a what the fuck like 2007. which here's where the collapse of 2007 started, and here's what silver did. It momentarily lost value and then shot through the roof. Okay. Good news is, over the years preceding this, you were sticking the money you would have stuck in a savings account into bullion. Bravo! You had the foresight to save money and plan ahead. Good for you. Now that times are tough and you need your savings to have value, the price surges up, and keeping in line with inflation and everything else, you know, you're good. You're either, by the time you add fees, ship it off, deal with the pawnbrokers, everything else, depending on how much you have, you got a good amount of your money in terms of buying power back. So you protected the value of your money. You didn't really make any money. You didn't get rich. You just protected the value. Times are hard. You needed it. It held in. Now, if you're smart, around this collapse, you sell not all of your bullion, but enough of it to survive through the next few years. And then you cash out the rest in the boom that almost always follows. One of two things happens. Either it stays more or less flat with inflation from that point on, or it momentarily loses value as a depression or recession sets in and nobody can afford to buy it. And then as soon as people start to have some spending money again, they go buy happy. And that's the time to sell the rest of it. And wait for the prices to get back in line with inflation like they're doing now, to a little bit below, to maybe get a little bit under, depending on where you think it's going to go, and start restacking. Start restoring your value store. Start replenishing the savings you depleted to make it through the hard time. As that, bullion is a wonderful thing, but that's a value store, not an investment. You don't make money. You just protect your buying power. Huge difference. Huge. Night and day difference. Investments like 401ks or stocks or trading Forex, and you can trade gold and silver in the Forex system, but that's different. You know, that's taking advantage of volatility and making things and keeping ahead of inflation and then some. That's investing. Physical bullion, never an investment. Never. There are times where if you're really, really lucky, you just accidentally buy it at the right time and sell it at the right time. But buying silver as an investment is not what these people are selling you. They're selling you the idea that you keep stacking silver away, and someday in the future it's worth more. Therefore, it's an investment. No, that's a value store. It's keeping up with inflation. And over time, that's really all it does. You don't even keep up with inflation. You just keep up with inflation better than if you'd held on to your cash. That is what bullion is. And that is what silver is. It's shiny. It's pretty. It's easy and cheap to clean. But it's not an investment. Just something to think about, y'all. Another question. Should we do more events like this? I don't know if he would be interested, but my guess is, since Bitt loves to talk about economics, he'd probably love to do economic what the fuck shows and rants. But even if he doesn't want to, I'll do them. You know, it's like I invest my own money. You know, that was a snapshot of the silver chart from my broker. I'm not investing in silver right now, but honestly, there's things that make a lot more sense to invest in right now, to be perfectly honest. And you can make a heck of a lot more money than you can make in silver right now and other things. But it angers me greatly that people are being taken advantage of in this way, that they are being sold lemons and told they are sweet. They're only sweet when you make them into lemon pie. Otherwise, they're very bitter, a little sour. Now, when life gives you lemons, you should always make lemonade. But you need to understand the difference between a investment and a value store. Now, don't get me wrong, value stores are wonderful things. If I have the choice between a value store and sticking my money in a savings account that I'm not planning on doing anything with for the next 2 years, once I've got 6 months worth of cash in my savings account, I have no interest in sticking any more money in the bank because the bank doesn't give me anything for putting it there. And since I have to take care of myself and I have to plan for retirement and I have to keep ahead of inflation so that I actually have value in the future, I need to invest. It's just required. Peace out, all. Remember, pretty, shiny, precious, not an investment.